Welcome to episode 8 of the Slabbed podcast, where the grades matter, there are no rules. As always, we appreciate your love and support, but we have some new news. New Instagram for the Slabbed podcast, link below. And also, we are on Spotify, Amazon Podcast, and there's going to be a few more as well. Trying to get into Apple Podcasts, but it is available on Spotify and Amazon Podcasts right now. Should have all the episodes uploaded here in the next week. There's one up there already. So go check it out. But of course, I got completely obliterated inside of our spicy moment from last week. It was unfair. I think the people felt bad for you, actually, because I kept beating you. No, I was joking. But our spicy topics from last week, Oak won handedly, doubled the likes on me. I think you had almost 18 likes or so. But you had said that Nick.
And I was late.
Yeah, you were late posting it too.
Again.
Yeah, that's how bad you whooped my ass in it. But so you said Nick's section will take the Collectacon trophy. So if you could just explain what that is all about and then what ended up happening, kind of elaborate.
Sorry, Nick. I tried. We both tried. Yeah, I mean, I think it was just a case of wanting some friendly competition. So we were a part of Nick Old School Pokemon's section at Collectacon. Tables. It's basically a big square, tables all around with different vendors. We were one of the vendors. There, Greenie and I. You guys probably saw the picture in my Discord. And so the other section next to us was Dan, Catch 'em All Collectibles. He had a bunch of people, in his section supporting him also. And there was a little bit of a friendly wager between Nick and Dan, where I think the exact wording was $100 worth of drinks, right? Was for the
by the other section of beer, essentially.
Yeah. So did that, and they discussed it, made the friendly wager, and we were roaring to go, we were raring to go. We were really excited about it. And I figured, why not get some cheerleader support going on there? We're going to win the trophy for Nick for his section. I'm a part of it. So obviously we can't back Dan. We were both part of it. So, we're both invested in that. Dan had some pretty sweet sales. He had a couple of really good situations that happened. So, no spoilers. I'm sure he's going to share it in his recap. I know he'll probably be doing one pretty soon, maybe with Pokey Flips. Maybe they'll be discussing it together. But yeah, for us, he did just take the cake. He just took it. So unfortunately, despite the support on the comment on my spicy topic for us going to win, it was too spicy. We did not win. So yeah. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, when you said it last week, I'm like, damn, you're doubling down on it. That ain't a good start. We're off to rough shape already. Already just thinking we're gonna win it. It was concerning to me. But yeah, no, it's we definitely lost. I feel like we definitely lost. I know we didn't even compare exact numbers with the other section, but hearing what some of the gentlemen did over there was pretty damaging to us. Yeah. And I know I did not pull my weight, and we'll get into that a little bit later on in this discussion. But it was really cool just having the friendly competition between the two sections. I know all the other people in our section and the other section, so it was really cool. Just the banter back and forth throughout the week leading up to it was really fun. Sadly, like I said, we didn't take the W because that would have been I would have been riding that high horse all the way to the next year. So, but it's I don't even know what my spicy topic was, but that was a good one. Unfortunate that it's not true, but
I think you said Pokemon would not survive without Pikachu.
Yeah.
And then we have a new Pikachu.
Yeah, and then they dropped a new Pikachu. So yeah, that's crazy stuff. Yeah, I'm glad they're doing that.
I did have a feeling it wouldn't quite fully go away, but yeah, that's exciting. I'm glad there's doing something. I'm not quite sure how I feel about Pikachu in a captain's hat. I didn't see that coming, but we'll see how they integrate it They said that he's following with the main protagonists, I guess. So he'll probably be in every episode, probably be rolling along with them.
Yep. So I think we should jump into the spicy topic for next week and kind of get into this Collectacon recap, what just happened this past weekend. So if you could lead us off into this first spicy topic suggestion, everybody down below in the comment section, please post your spicy topics, any comments, like the ones you'd like, and the most liked one will be talked about first in the next episode coming up. So take us away.
I love it. I get excited about reading your guys' comments. So please, if there's anything spicy or dramatic or anything you want to talk about, you want us to talk about, and you think other people might want to share and converse on and listen to, get it in there right now. Just click the comment button while you're listening. You can just add it. My spicy comment is going to be based on my experience this weekend. It's kind of tied into it. And I'm going to say that expensive slabs are a bag.
It's so close to what I'm going to say.
No way.
That's crazy. Literally. Oh, man.
I mean, you were there. We experienced it together. So
literally, that's insane what you just said. That's freaking insane.
Sorry, I didn't mean to mess you up.
Damn, you just kicked me right in the nuts on that one too, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm glad I went first.
Yeah, so I need to word mine a little bit differently from what I was going to say, probably. I'm just going to say, I guess, black labels are superior to all other cards. Basically, complete opposite of what you just said. Similar,
Okay.
kind of.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll see how we'll let that ride. I think I might talk a little bit about some of that later on in the selling in person. We'll talk a little bit about selling there while we're at Collectacon, but
of course.
Yeah. So how was Collectacon 2023 Orlando for you, man? Did you have a good time?
Yeah, pretty much. It was pretty special, honestly. I loved every minute of it. I don't think there was a downside of any of it for me, honestly. I kind of went there going with the flow, just kind of hitching onto your table and staying on your sofa in the place that you got, and yeah, just kind of like went there YOLO style, like let's just have some fun and kind of get together and see the guys and maybe sell a few slabs on the way. And it went really well. I got to spend the whole day with you and all the rest of the guys, and I met a lot of really cool customers, a lot of clients and people from all different walks of life. Puggy tubers, bunch of Puggy tubers, Got to chat with Puggy Chloe and Puggy Dean and a few other ones that were kind of walking around looking at things. So that was exciting. That was fun. I got to meet Jammin Pokemon, my fellow cookie buddy. And so that was cute. Getting to meet someone that's like an absolute rock star in the hobby, just top percent kind of guy. That was pretty special. So yeah, for me, it really was amazing, seeing some of those people and experiencing it on both sides. Because last year I attended it. This year, obviously, being on the back of the table with you, being around all the other Pokemon YouTubers and the sellers and, all the people that are really invested in this hobby.
Yeah.
It really was a special time, during the day, just being there. And then afterwards, all the fun that we had with the things that we got up to, it was pretty amazing. Yeah, every direction. What about you? Just generally enjoyed it?
Yeah, it was awesome. This is the first time I've ever flown, because for those of you who don't know, Collectacon is only Saturday and Sunday, which is not like most conventions. Most of them, I believe, start on Fridays. So usually I'd get there later on Friday, but this time I showed up early Friday, which was really nice. Be able to get down, relax. I was able to go to the pool, enjoy that for a couple hours in the sun.
Nice.
So that was amazing. So definitely would do that again for the next Collectacon. I would take the Friday off to do that. It was awesome being able to play poker with a bunch of the guys at the house. Sorry you missed out on that night, unfortunately. It would have been a good time, but yeah, it was a great event. It was one of my favorite events as far as the mingling, hanging out with people, and all that. The sales wise, it was not the best event for me. We'll probably get into that a little bit more talking a little bit later, but yeah, it was superior. I absolutely loved it. Similar to Denver. Denver was amazing. This was amazing. All of them have been amazing. I haven't had a bad Collectacon trip yet. Great for networking as well. Do a lot of that every time. So it's awesome. Huge. Cannot recommend it enough. So if you're ever there and you don't feel a little shy to say hi, just message me or Oak in Instagram or Discord, and we'll bring you over to the table, say hi, introduce you to a bunch of people. So love meeting a lot of new people that I have not met before. That was awesome. That was awesome.
I really enjoyed Card Canoe when he came up and he was like, "Hey, you guys, I've been watching your podcast. I think you guys are really awesome. I really like listening in." That was a cool moment. That we got to experience together. That was pretty sweet. So shout out Card Canoe. That was pretty awesome. I loved that.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, no, it was sick. I definitely can't wait to go back again next year. Hopefully it's the same hotel, and it probably will be because that's the one they've been doing. But
yeah, it's right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part, do you think?
Probably just hanging out with the crew, man. Whether it was Friday night at the Spicy Mansion, or because it was like playing poker, played chess a few times, just drinking beers, hanging out, or the Saturday night hanging out with you and everybody else in the lobby at the hotel, just talking cards and just mingling, man. It was awesome. Just sitting around. I wish there was like a bonfire almost, but we were in the middle of a hotel lobby, unfortunately.
Yeah, it did feel a little bit like random, right? just kind of like sitting around talking. I felt like they needed that little edge.
A little powwow circled around, chilling,
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah,
I loved it. It's the same for me. I mean, it was just like so fun experiencing it with everybody else that have the same interests in different ways, but have the same interests as me. That was really cool being around those people. I don't have a lot of them in my area, so you guys that I managed to take selfies with and got to chat with and got to know and introduce myself to, and hear you talk, see your faces. Some of you I hadn't even seen your face before, so that was pretty special too. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. There was a lot of it, a lot of highlights for me that would never have happened if I hadn't have gone there. There's just no other opportunity for that to have happened. So that was pretty awesome. Having dinner together.
Yeah, that was cool. That was funny. Oh man, yeah.
The 20
Happy
of us.
Happy birthday, Dan. Happy birthday.
So we did it. We went to a beautiful steakhouse. Like they brought us a lot of really nice steaks and chicken and pork and all these different things. Bunch of sides and just real good food, good drinks, and real quality place. And I took it upon myself to make add a little bit of fun, a little pizzazz to the night. So I told the hostess that it was Dan's birthday, and they came over beating a huge drum, like 6 of the staff beating a drum, and they gave him some cake and sang to him. And he was not super impressed, but he did get free cake. So there is that.
I'm going to insert that clip for you guys to watch right here. So enjoy that. now we're back. I hope you enjoyed that clip. That was
Oh,
awesome. That was awesome. I definitely enjoyed that thoroughly. It was cool.
amazing. Yeah, amazing. That really was a fun. It was a fun moment. I really enjoyed that. And
Yep.
then and then obviously after that we all like tried to meet up. We all kind of got together at the hotel, a couple of different areas. Got to chat with some of the people. That's when I got to meet a couple of the people at Gem Men and got to actually chat with some of the guys. Dan was there, Nick was there. It was just a great bunch. We all got to hang out, had a drink. I had a bourbon, of course. Sipped that while we were chatting, and I loved it, all of it. That's just exactly the kind of stuff I was hoping to do. Just hang out with you guys and talk and laugh and joke around and just enjoy it, enjoy life, being around the guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely. I wish I could do it every weekend, but it would not go well with my wife.
Same.
So,
Yep.
wife would not be happy at all. But yeah, definitely looking forward to the next one. We'll talk about that probably a little later about maybe which one you might go to, maybe if you thought about it. But I definitely was today. I looked at some of the dates and it looked like there's some possibilities here in the future for me. So we'll see.
Okay.
Is there something that you missed, didn't get to like? Is there a person or something you wanted to do, weren't able to do while you're there?
Yeah, there was. Honestly, I was having so much fun at the table with you and the guys and, talking to clients and stuff that I didn't really go see any tables. I didn't go buy anything or like pick up any Pikachus for the collection or any
Yeah.
random stuff. I didn't really invest any time in that. I'm glad I didn't, but
Yeah.
I think next time I should probably try and work out if I can do the full 2 days. So maybe on the second day I could take like an hour or two and actually go around and like really, really embrace the whole experience, because I did only that last year and then only this year. So I think I would have liked that. And then there was some people that I missed. I didn't get to see that didn't come. I know, Echo, he didn't make it. Cam made it, but James didn't. James wasn't there. Basic, Mason, Swami, PK. I mean, there was like Pika who else? Chevels. There was a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Sorry if I missed your name. There's just so many people there and so many people that I missed. It would have. I think that was a thing for me that like I was so sad about when everyone was at Denver, because like it felt like everyone in the world was there and I was the only person that wasn't there. So I really felt that again a little bit in Florida, where in Orlando, where some of those people that it's like the second chance I had to see them, and I didn't get to see them again. And it's obviously it's for good reasons. They can't make it. Everyone's got lives. You can't expect everyone to be there, but all the more reason and fire to make sure I get to another one to try and get a hold of those people. Yeah. What about you?
It's basically the same people. Definitely sad. Didn't get to see Swami again. Was really looking forward to meeting Echo. I know he later last year, he said he was going to come, but obviously work has gotten really busy for him. So good for that. But sad I haven't got to meet him yet. But yeah, all the people you had mentioned and so many more. That pretty much a lot of the people in the Discord that is linked down below in the description. Missed out on those people. It's good meeting all these people. Met a whole bunch of new people, and it was really cool. Really cool to see all these people, which was awesome.
Yeah, it was crazy. On the flip side of that, it was crazy how many people were there that we knew, like even like that weren't YouTubers. Like, it was. I get to meet people like Swag Daddy was there, and Drew, and Typhlosion, and there's just a bunch of people that like I haven't really seen or interacted with. Loads of them, like a lot of them, and that was really cool. I really enjoyed that.
No, yeah, man.
I like that a lot. What did you think of like the actual experience? Like, I know you didn't really get to go look at tables either, did you? But a little bit of music, a little bit of
So anything. the last hour you were there the second day. The second day, the last hour, I did a little bit of walking around.
Oh,
Not
nice.
much. I kind of went straight to the graded guard table, bought a few of those, talked to the guy for a little while. Really awesome guy that runs it. And then there's a gentleman right next to it named Simon. Simon Sells Shadowless is his name, but he's working for Phantom Display, and was talking to him for a little while, but didn't get to go in and out of all these different booths and look at singles. I probably would have made more money if I did that this weekend, buying and selling some singles and finding some jewels out there that I definitely could have, I'm sure. Yeah, and it was awesome. Like this time, I got a ton of Yu-Gi-Oh binders coming across my table. Probably looked through about 4 or 5 like older Yu-Gi-Oh binders. Bought one of them. That was really cool.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Just went through it, pulled all the hollows out, and it's a pretty decent stack of stuff. So, it was really cool. So that I love that. I absolutely love it for sure.
that was cool too. Like seeing some of the things. I know we had a lot of people coming up trying to do trades, and you buying stuff, you trading, that kind of thing. It was cool seeing some of those binders. There was that one guy with a pretty special, huge one that he had all the big he had like base set stuff in there, right? There was like Charizards and Blastouses and all sorts of crazy cards. That was pretty exciting. Just to think people just randomly walking around with a binder like with 4 Charizards along the top. It's nuts. Yeah.
That binder, just to express a little bit more for people, it was like when you on the front page you could see 16 freaking cards. So you could have put an entire like base set of Pokemon, all the hollows in the front cover of this freaking binder. And he had pretty much what was like base set through Skyridge. There was crystals, shinings, everything. And he had then more EX era. Like the binder had to weigh at least 30 pounds. The thing was massive.
Big. Yeah. It was like jam packed. It really was. That was crazy. That kind of thing's nuts. Just like walking around, hey, do you want to look at it? You want to buy it, kind of thing. Yeah, nuts. It was interesting, just seeing like what people were looking at too, like all the different things people were wanting to see, and like where their eyes went to. So I know. Can I get into that? We're good on that, right? So I got a box, and I kind of separated out by price, thinking it's going to draw people to like their price point they're comfortable paying for Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
And the cheaper, like $20-$30 stack was like that. Instantly people were going to that and flicking through. Before anything else, like 9 out of 10 people were going straight to the $30 stack and kind of just flicking through, almost like singles. There's a bunch of slabs there, PSA 10s, cheap PSA 10s. People were very drawn to that. Sort of bunch sold out, completely cleared out of Old Maid. Everyone was going crazy for Old Maid. Completely cleared out of ETB sleeves. People loved those. Like I had 4 or 5 people came and just completely cleared me out. I had a bunch. I had like probably 20 or so of them, and yeah, they all the packs were gone. So that was good to see. And then a few people looking at the binder, not as many people as I expected. I thought more people would be interested to flick through, look at singles, but cheap slabs seemed to be where people were drawn. And yeah, I did really well with that. People seem to really like it. I only sold one card that was priced over $100, which, I mean, I didn't bring loads. I brought like a dozen or so. I think I had 10 or 15. I think I only sold 1, maybe 2 in one of the job lot things. I did sell a set of the Celebrations V Union Pikachu, all 4 in PSA 10. I think I sold it for $170.
Oh wow, yeah.
I think it was. I think I had it at 200, and he said 150, and I was like 170. If I'm pretty sure that's what it was, and yeah. So I had a couple of nice ones in there, but seemed to be more volume based, getting rid of a lot of cheaper ones seemed to be the bigger play for me. I didn't have a lot of like big sexy cards, black labels, perfect tens. I just had some nice PSA 10s, a bunch of $30 ones, $40 ones, a few $50, $60, $70 ones, and a few $100 plus. And it was cool. It was a good learning curve, seeing like what people are interacting with, people talking about. A bunch of kids, I was surprised, were more interested in the slabs and the singles. They all loved. I was giving away Pikachu cards. I gave away a couple of slabs, actually. I gave away a few slabs to kids. I'm a sucker for it. Trade up challenge. We should get that. Should be a topic we'll get into in a minute. But yeah, I was really generous to the kids. I really enjoyed that, having fun and interacting, and I loved it. I got signatures on slabs from people that people had given me before, so I got a bunch of signed slabs now from all the rock stars that were there. A lot of different learning curve stuff. Yeah. What about you?
Well, real quick, is there something that you would maybe change next time? Like what would, say you're going to vend another Collectacon? What would be like your one change?
I'd probably get my own table so I could have more stuff spread out.
Yeah.
But that was a really good like learning test to like see. I think I would have it very busy and very not busy as in people, but busy as in the table busy, like a lot of stuff to look at and interact with, and a lot of like different things in there, I think is what I'd do. I'd have sleeves. I'd probably have some like pushes or artworks or like all different types of things, maybe some games, just to like bring people there and get their eyes on different things, because I felt a little bit like I just had my box and it was just like they just were looking at Pikachu slabs and Pokemon slabs and old maid slabs. It was very much a lot of the same thing, and I kind of felt like I wasn't providing enough of what some other people might want to see and look at. You had like everything, like a million different things. So it was like very visually appealing to look at all those different slabs and different grading companies and different sets and different like IPs. Totally, kind of. I mean, I was looking at your stuff more than most people. Like I kept looking down, looking at all your different cards, like the whole day. It was very intriguing, all the different stuff. So that was fun. What about you?
Luckily for you, I wasn't selling them, so you could keep looking at them the entire day. No, they weren't moving very fast. But it was like I had mentioned. I wasn't one of my best selling Collectacons I've ever had. And it's self-inflicted. I know the issues, what it was, what I did wrong, and it's pretty much sums down to being like too niche in what I'm selling. Knowing that as I was sitting there, what's going on? Why aren't people buying? I had a decent amount of people coming up to the booth, checking things out, because like you said, I have a bunch of like eye candy people that come, they walk by, they're like, oh snap, what's that? Like checking stuff out. So that was really good. I had an amazing rare Kyogre listed for $1 million. Probably was the most popular card in my booth.
So much attention.
So many people were like, is that really $1 million? I was like, yeah, it is. That's what the price I'd sell it for. Like, it's my favorite card, So it was really funny talking to some of the parents who had no clue. They actually thought they were looking at $1 million card, and it was pretty funny. It was funny, but the nicheness of my booth, like the cards I was selling, was what hindered my ability to sell things. I had recently consigned a bunch of stuff through Z&G Emporium. A lot of that stuff could have been useful here, and I wasn't thinking at the time, like when I consigned it, I was like, I can consign this, sure. I got a big PSA submission coming in. I'll just take those to Collectacon, not thinking that the things I'm grading are pretty niche, and probably most people don't know what the heck they are. And when I say niche, it's like this thing called Vending series. Those of you that don't know what it is, it's a Japanese only set. It's never been in English. So when people look at them, they're like, I don't know what that is. And a lot of people are looking at comps and stuff. So A lot of people didn't know what those cards were. I had Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Yu-Gi-Oh is still not very popular there, but it was like my first sale, selling some Yu-Gi-Oh. I sold some World of Warcraft cards. I had some Magic the Gathering items. Yeah, it all is stuff that probably would 100% do better on eBay and have when you have all those eyes on it, and so what I've done historically at Collectacons is bring like holographic Wizards of the Coast cards. My entire booth would literally be just Wizards of the Coast hollows. I had almost zero. In fact, it was pretty dang low, if any. There was a few, but it was not many at all. I'd literally have my entire booth filled with it. About last sold pricings historically. Now mine were still last sold pricing, but still it was too niche. So lesson learned there. I won't vend unless I know I have slabs that are not super niche. But yeah, like I said, it was self-inflicted. I know the issues, know why I didn't move as much as I wanted to. But yeah, it was still it was a good time.
I learned a few things that are like maybe it was just a few interactions that I had, but kind of the opposite of what you're saying. I had people that were asking and looking for very specific things. So a lot of them were looking at modern that I had. They really liked modern. The kids were very interested. They picked up the older stuff and put it straight back down. The modern stuff they were holding whilst like they were picking one up and going, oh, I really like that. And then looking if there was any others. You could feel like they were attaching themselves to the modern cards, especially like I had a couple of cheap, like reverse common Pikachus. I mean, cheap, and they were loving them. Like all of them sold like almost straight away. So that was cute. They really like the Japanese commons too. I think I would probably go that route. I think I'd probably grade a bunch of modern cards and have loads of those. There's like a whole section of modern shiny reverses, like big flashy, in your face looking ones, like the reverse Dark Phantasma Pikachu, where it's like just kind of sat down cute, and it's like the reverse gold foil on that. Just, I mean, it's like a deer in headlights. You can't help but look at it. That kind of stuff, really great. What I need to do is branch out though, because that's probably the biggest lesson I learned in terms of like modern stuff. People were coming over. Everybody likes Pikachu, right? But people coming over, they were asking, "Do you have Gengar cards?" Haunter. I had people asking, "Did I have Squirtle cards?" Like specific Pokemon. So you really need a spread. Like I had someone came over and they said they collect like Slowpokes. She bought an old maid Slowpoke from me. I don't know who's collecting Slowpokes, but that person was collecting Slowpokes. So like it just shows you need to be able to appeal to the person too. Like no matter what you think is good or bad or cheap or expensive or whatever, like you just need some variation. I think it is the biggest thing I learned. And every time that I had one that they were looking for, they always bought it. They all bought it if they found one that they were looking for in that Pokemon, which obviously bodes well, for future. So I think there's probably a lot of, I think you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just think I learned like a slightly modern aspect of it. I think what you're thinking with the WotC Hollows is that, but for the people looking for the vintage stuff. So they're like, I want to get a hit on, I want to get the Gengar, I want to get this or that, I'm looking for the Charizard, whatever, like all those original hollows, and all the ones probably through WotC, not even just base set. Obviously, you got Fossil and Jungle and stuff, so some pretty special ones in there. And I think it'd be the same thing. I think you'd have, someone come up and they're a Jigglypuff collector, or someone comes up and they're a Caterpie collector. Like if you got a PSA 10 Cappy, they're gonna buy it. Like probably, that's what they want if it's priced well. So I felt a little bit of that. I kind of feel like I need more diversity, not just Pikachu. I need like more of everything. Just yeah.
If you're gonna pick one Pokemon though, man, that and Charizard are the ones to select.
I mean,
so
I sold I sold like 60 of them, I think 50 or 60 Pikachus, probably.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's awesome.
Maybe more. I should count actually. I should try and figure out how many, because I know how many I had.
Yeah.
I haven't listed. So yeah, I should probably check that. But it was a lot. I saw a lot of Pikachu slabs. Old Maid. I can't believe the attention the Old Maid got. Like people were obsessed with it. They were
That's
crazy
wild.
about it. So yeah, much better than it would have done on eBay. So kind of the opposite of what you're saying. You know, those kind of things. I feel like just appeal to everyone, I guess, because it's just a picture of the Pokemon. It's not even a Pokemon card. Literally not even an actual Pokemon card, but it's because it's got a Pokemon on it. People like it, so
Yeah, I wish I had Old Maid instead of my PSA 9 vending series because it is literally similar prices. Like PSA 9 vending series stuff is like $20-ish, and PSA 10 Old Maid stuff was selling for like $20-ish. So
that was the most surprising thing for me too. And they were right next to each other.
Yeah,
literally right next to each other.
Yeah, yep.
And like
You're
people
like,
were
have the Old Maid. Yep.
Seriously though, like I sold out.
Yeah,
like, that's crazy, and that's not a dig at you. It's just I was looking at your cards like, what the heck? What the heck's going on? This is nuts.
Yeah, I sold a couple Imakuni like cards from vending that people liked, and vending was not great at all for that. So lesson learned there.
Was it Gengar, the one where you pulled the two slabs out? Was it Haunter? I forgot.
Yeah, it was two Gengars. Yeah, yep.
And you sold one of them to someone else. Yep. Yeah. I think Gengar's a big one. Old Maid, I had 3 people ask me for Old Maid Gengar. 3 people. And I was like, no, I sold it on eBay. I sold it on PWC for like, what did I sell it for? It was like 160 or something stupid. It was like ridiculous. Like it was like one of the first ones ever sold. And I was just kicking myself all the time because I was like, I thought they were going to be the hardest ones to shift because I had all these amazing, gorgeous Pikachus, $200 Pikachus that were like so amazing. I popped 5 Pikachu that never even got looked at. Like no one even gave 2 hoots about. But Old Maid, give me all your money. I mean, it was nuts. So really good lesson learned there. Being on the flip side of it in person, very different to selling on eBay and through auction houses and through Instagram and to friends and stuff. Like very different experience, very different things to learn. So if you are a big seller online, you should do it because it's kind of humbling. It makes you realize like you don't know everything. You know, it was not that I'm saying we do like that we were feeling that way, but I'm just saying like it really humbled me of like I thought I knew out of my stuff what would sell well and like what would do well, and it didn't. It was the exact, and I did well, like I did okay, but it wasn't the things that I thought were going to do well. It was like the stuff that I thought was going to do terrible. So
yeah, how many cards come in the Old Maid deck?
I feel like there's like 40 or something. I don't remember. There's quite a few. There's probably like 24 Pokemon, roughly, and the trainer and the Pokeball. There's a couple of odd ones, and then there's 2 of each. So yeah, I'd say probably 40 or 50, something like that. Maybe I forget.
It's probably still a play to grade those based on what I was seeing at Collectacon.
100%. The first thing I sold, the first card I sold. I'm not going to say names. The person knows who it was that bought it. I don't know if they want me shouting it out, but I sold it to a Pokemon YouTuber. My first sale was an Old Maid card. I mean, one of the arguably, possibly the best Old Maid artwork. So that's probably part of it. One of the most desirable ones, but yeah, still my first sale. So if I was going to do Collectacon or a trading card convention in the next 2 or 3 months, I'd be getting an Old Maid into PSA tomorrow. Like that's the first thing I'd be doing. Like honestly,
right. Nice little easy transaction, $20 bill, slap it out the door, man.
So easy. Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting to see you operate cash only, no PayPal, nothing else, no Venmo, no Zelle, no Cash App, and you were just smooth sailing. People, I feel like people had hella cash this time, compared to other Collectacons, and that was great. That was great to see it.
People wanted my sleeves so much that one guy went to the ATM just to buy a $3 pack of sleeves.
Were you underpriced that bad, or they was just?
I mean, I am probably. They probably do sell for $4 or $5 on eBay, but then you got like shipping and fees and the rest of it. So I was like, even though I'm selling it less, I feel like I was kind of selling them for more on my end, like less for them, but more on my end. There's no middleman in between. There's no services. You're not paying for any services there other than the table, and that side of stuff. So I'd bring like accessories. I'd probably bring like play mats, deck boxes, and all that. I'd get stuff for like Graded God. I mean, he probably did well, that kind of stuff. Maybe like slab sleeves, all that kind of stuff. I'd probably do that. Honestly, yeah. Those kind of things. There was a guy selling really nice play mats at the Tampa convention I went to. And he had one from the London World Championships that had just happened. And he was selling it for like $100 or something dollars. Like some of them like sell like decent money, like some of that stuff. And yeah, there's a lot more than just slabs that people are looking for. It made me want to branch out a little bit, but I think you could probably get carried away. Honestly, there is just so much. You could just end up getting sucked into everything. There's even toys and vintage toys and new toys and comics, and there's Pokemon's on everything. So
yeah, shout out to Ernesto selling those plushies. Man, dude was making a mint over there. There's a table like kitty corner from us selling tons of plushies. Like the number of things you could find at these Collectacons is like endless. It's crazy. Like,
yeah,
I feel like there's more and more sports cards though. It's kind of really annoying to see that. Honestly, I'd rather it be more anime oriented. But I get it. It's Collectacon, so there's going to be sports people. But I feel like as sports people start learning more and more about how successful this event is, there's going to be more and more sports vendors, and it's going to be pretty annoying. So
yeah, if they're making it bigger and drawing people from other states too, because at the moment, like, it's a nice idea thinking have it in each state, but the problem is if you do that, it is going to be smaller. There's probably some people came down from Georgia and stuff, some of the other closest states for this. I don't know how many, but I would imagine some did. If they're serious and have money to burn, like they probably will. So, and it's once a year. So I kind of like the limited availability almost of Collectacon. I think that's good. And like you say, the sports cards guys, I don't know how well they did, but I'd imagine they did well.
Yeah, and it was crazy, like talking to the people walking around. Like obviously, every time they come up, I'd talk to them a little bit, and I'd ask them like, "Hey, is your first Collectacon? How you having fun? Having fun at the show?" And 99% of the people I asked that to literally said this is their first ever Collectacon. They're checking things out. If this is their second time, it was because they came the day before. Like that was the first time. This is the second time. Like a lot of these people are new to this and still checking this out. So it's still it's growing for sure. I think we never really touched on it, but I think this Collectacon was pretty small for the number of people compared to that of Denver and Long Beach when I was there, as far as capacity wise, because I feel like there was always a decent amount of space for people walking around, even in the hype around 2 p.m. or on Saturday after all the line was empty. Sunday was definitely, I'd say 50% of what Saturday was. So that definitely has an effect on what everything, sales and everything. I don't think it had a huge effect on what I was doing just because, like I said, I niched myself out of sales. And so I'm just going to be the old maid guy going forward. It's lock, stock, and barrel.
I mean, you are onto some really good points there, though, because you're saying about people being new there. It's the first time. I mean, 3 people, I distinctly remember 3 different people said that was their first slab that they bought from his first time they bought a card, graded. And one guy, his son got one, and he was talking to me about it, and he was like asking like, what do you do? Like, what do you do? Where do you send it? Like if I wanted to do that, I don't know anything about it. He's obsessed with Pokemon, and I want to help fund his hobby kind of thing. I want to be a part of it. And I was like, well, it's like I don't want to just stand there and explain the whole process, end to end, because it's like a bit of a, kind of like there's a lot of steps to it, right? It's not just put it in an envelope and send it there. The actual physical part, and you got the form submission and the mail-in, and then you got to tell them through the process and the pricing, and there's so many aspects to it. So I just kind of, I don't even remember what I said. I think I just basically pointed him to the website and said, you should check out some YouTube channels and stuff. They'll be able to guide you better than I probably could. But I don't think he was asking for an in-depth answer anyway. Honestly, I think he was just kind of more curious. But you're right. I mean, I don't think that many people there were like. There was some people, obviously, who that were like buying a bunch of slabs, but just the general public people that were there, it seemed like it was the first time they'd ever been to a Collectacon, like you say, and they were just kind of having fun, just looking if they can pick up a slab with their favorite Pokemon on. I mean, it was really like harmless hobby, burning money type stuff. Just like some people went fishing on Saturday and spent $20 on shrimp, to fish with. It's just the same thing. So that was fun. That was fun seeing those kind of people. That like it made me realize there's just still so many new people coming in. Like there was so many people that they seemed brand new to it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Still, even now, it's 2023, and people are still joining the hobby. Adults.
Yeah, it was crazy. My Uber ride, and not jumping on a timeline or anything here, but basically just on the new people topic. On my Uber ride back to the airport, I had a guy who was probably 27. He was like, "Hey, what were you doing at the convention? What's going on there?" I told him it's Collectacon, and I was selling Pokemon cards. He's like, "Really?" He's like, "I collected Pokemon cards a year or two ago, and I got out of it. Like, he did it for one set. He came in for celebrations, collected almost the whole set, and hopped right out. He's like, I really wanted to get Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur. I got all of those, and I almost completed the set, and I was happy with it, and then I'm kind of done with it." So I was like, damn, that's so weird that you could just hop in, get one set, and not even give a care about looking at other newer sets. So those people exist, and I told them, I was like, hey, this new 151 set's coming out. Just like tell them, like, I don't know anything that's in that set, but I feel like it's definitely going to be hitting some nostalgia buttons. And he's like, damn, I'm about to have to go check that out. So the number of people, like we like at Collectacon, those people are in the hobby. Like, but how many of the Uber drivers out there are like him in the sense that they're going to hop back in for just a second to get a kick of nostalgia? And that's why some of this modern stuff is freaking insane right now. Like, how many people came up asking about Moonbryons? I think it was at least 4 or 5 people asked me if I had one.
Wow.
Which is freaking crazy.
I enjoyed there was a really lovely lady come up, and she had a real cute little kid with her, and she was looking through the Pikachus, and I was like, "Oh, you like Pikachu?" I think she had a Pikachu shirt on, right? I don't remember. There was something about her that she was saying like she loves Pikachu, and I was like, "Oh, I'm like the guy. If you want to talk about Pikachu, like I could talk about them all day."
I am the guy.
Yeah, like I'm the one you want to talk to right now about Pikachu. Like I just love it. I love everything Pikachu. And she was like, "Oh yeah, so do I," and put her forearm out, and she had a Pikachu tattoo taken off like a huge part of the forearm. And I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, you win."
Yeah.
Like,
you step your game up, bro.
Yeah, I do not have a Pikachu tattoo yet. Anyway, and yeah, I just felt like that trumped everything that I have. Honestly, she like literally physically marked herself for the rest of her life because she loves Pikachu. What's even cuter is the Pikachu was dressed as Harry Potter. It was a Harry Potter crossover Pikachu tattoo. So obviously she's a Potter fan. But I don't remember if she even bought a slab from me. I forget if she even got one. I know she was looking at them. She came by like 2 or 3 times. She kept swinging by. There there's quite a few people that were like really nice. I just enjoyed they didn't even buy anything. It was just fun talking with them, just interacting and then looking at the stuff. It was nice, right? It was a really enjoyable experience. A lot more fun. I thought it'd be a lot more like bored. I don't know. I don't know that I was expected to be bored like with you, but I just thought like the act of selling it was going to be a bit more like boring and transactional. And actually, I like tried really hard to make it conversational and fun. And I mean, what do you think? Did it feel like our table was like a good experience for people? Like they were enjoying it in the conversation. I feel like we're like pretty happy and having a good time, right?
Yeah. I think a lot of people learned a lot of things also, like just asking questions about the different Yu-Gi-Oh slabs and why my Kyogre is $1 million. And I got them educated on why it's my favorite card, and just like different stuff like that. Talking hobby with all these people was really cool. Just informing them on different things. Like a lot of people didn't know what Vending series was, and they were asking about it, and I told them it's a bag, don't buy it, so I didn't sell it. Just shoot myself in the foot, but no, yeah, it was really cool. I love talking to people. I could do it. I would love to be an Uber driver just so I can meet a different person every 30 minutes, and get paid to do it, which would be awesome. So talking to people is one of my favorite pastimes. So I'll definitely thoroughly enjoy being a vendor, and I feel like that's awesome. They come to me. I don't got to go to the individual booths and talk. I feel bad. Like I feel bad when I'm buying stuff and I sit there chatting the dude's ear for a little while, because the dude's got other things to do. He's trying to make money. He doesn't need to be talking to me about his cards. I know I can get the feeling sometimes when people are like passionate about it and they want to talk, but I feel a little bit more bad about it when I'm the guy buying, talking these guys' ears off, taking away their time selling to other customers. So definitely like vending.
I really enjoyed meeting you too. Not to get all soppy on you, but that was pretty special. You know, we got to meet you. We got to not only just meet, but like spend a whole day together, literally like side by side the whole day, selling and joking around and talking with people and taking pictures and interacting. Like that was really cool. And then like we say, we got to have the dinner with everyone, and then we hung out after. And then the next morning, I've been so excited for forever, for like months, to like meet DNA, and he came. Oh my god, he came, and because he had like car troubles and issues in the evening, like kind of threw him off. He ended up not joining us by the time I passed out, you know, real late in the middle of the night. And he came and joined us for breakfast, so I could spend some time with him before I left, because I left Sunday morning. So that was pretty cool. The three of us getting together and having a quick coffee and enjoying it too. It was like even right up to the last moment, we're still doing things and like having fun and enjoying it. It was, that was brilliant in just so many ways. I don't know if I really heard of any bad situations. I'm trying to think of anything that like went wrong for anyone, anything negative, but I don't think so. I think people just generally loved it and had a good time and made a few sales, you know, some more than others, but
I'm almost surprised that Collectacons we don't hear like the announcer coming on, hey, little Jimmy, your mom's waiting up at the front for you because he got separated from his parents or something. Like I never hear of that. I've never heard it. Maybe once in the 6 I've gone to, but
there was the first one. There was one early on where it was like, hey, Ricardo, come to the front. Your wife's waiting for you. His wife got him to announce it. It was like, your wife's waiting at the front door. She was obviously wanting to go and leave. And you don't remember that?
No.
I can't remember his name. It was so loud. Like, it made me jump a little bit. It was like the real loud speaker that they use for the music. And it was like, hey, like, Richard or Ricardo or whatever it was, can you please come to the front? Your wife's waiting. Your wife, Elise, is waiting for you or something. And I was like, really? She really had to put that on the loudspeaker to everyone? So
feels
funny.
bad. Poor Ricardo.
I know.
Get wrecked.
He's probably stood chatting with someone at a booth, like having fun, like invested in it, just forgetting about the world.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm making assumptions. Obviously, I have no idea. It could have been a dog for all I know. I don't know who Ricardo was.
Well, speaking
Yeah.
of getting loud, you've experienced now one time each a little bit of Vanilla Ice, a little bit of Yin Yang Twins. Any
Yeah,
preference?
dreadful, absolutely dreadful. I mean, I was trying to enjoy it. I was trying to dance and get jiggy with it, have a little bit of fun on the Buster Move or whatever. But yeah, no, it was rough. I could feel the music in my aorta, like it was that loud. It was like shaking the my platelets. Honestly, did not enjoy that part at all. I really tried hard to stay positive and battle through it, but it's not fun. Yeah, it's too loud. They just need to turn it down a little bit. I think if any music would have been good, like music's good to listen to, and obviously have a bit of background, bring a bit of atmosphere to the area, instead of it just being quiet and chatter. It's always good to have music, but it's too much, the volume for me. I know I sound like an old man, but I am. So what about
Yeah,
you?
I did not think I would miss Vanilla Ice.
Yeah.
I could understand him in his words when he was singing, but when the Yin Yang Twins came up there to sing, it was more of just like if you've ever heard
Oh,
of what squealing or screaming is, the heavy metal death core.
screamo.
Yeah, like it sounded like just like constant. Like you said, it was that sound. Bass was turned up to 1,000, and it
Yeah.
was just like insane. How far we were, almost the furthest possible booth from the stage. We were like one away from
Yeah,
being.
we were next to last, literally as far away as you could get. Yeah.
Could you imagine being next to it? Like you would have been just like, you got to wait because I can't do this. Like it's insane. It was way too loud.
Yeah, it was funny because I remember last year. I think that we talked about this already. I remember last year thinking like, oh, when Vanilla Ice came on, it was so loud. Oh, I'm so glad I didn't bring my daughter. Should have been 3.
Oh
And I
yeah,
was like, I'm really glad that because I very nearly did. And I was like, oh my god, I'm really glad I didn't because that was way too loud. Like, that would have not been a good situation. And when that group started playing, when the music started getting crazy, I literally saw, because we were like one of the main aisles, coming away from it. I literally saw people walking with the kids away from, literally like strolling away from the stage with their kids past us, like as fast as
yep.
they could. Half a dozen of them. It was so blatant. Like I don't get it. I think it's odd. I think that's the number one complaint from everyone that was selling. That's literally the only complaint I think I've heard.
Consistently, like
Honestly,
every time.
every single time,
Yep.
just literally every time, every person says it. I don't think anyone was like, "Yeah, this is awesome." Like, really enjoying this.
I
Mm-mm.
do love that song, the Get Low song. That's a banger. But man, it was
I don't know. I don't
nope.
remember. I don't remember. It was like you say, it was like so loud and muffled, and it wasn't even like good quality. I don't know if it was the microphone or the speakers, but like it wasn't even clear. You
Yeah,
see, you couldn't even tell what they were saying. Maybe it was just because it was so loud, just too much vibration and bass. Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know. What do you think in terms of like the the difference from Orlando to the other ones? Because you've been to quite a few. So like, what do you think was like the biggest standout difference between Florida, or was it pretty similar? Not music wise, I just mean Collectacon in general.
Yeah, so Orlando 100% had the best hotel out of all of them. All of them.
Hmm.
Yeah, not even. Denver was the worst so far to travel between the Collectacon Hotel and the convention center, probably half-mile walk. Um, so that was rough. Long Beach had a really good location, really close to the water. Is beautiful there as well. Hotel there was nice, but Orlando's was way nicer.
Hmm.
Um,
And right there.
yeah. Orlando is literally, it's kind of connected. You kind of got to go across street or across like a whatever it's called, a little bridge, but yeah, it's right there. It's 5 minute walk from the hotel. Really, really seamless. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's similar in the sense of the other ones, but I feel like the layout was definitely different. It was kind of more elongated the entire square, the floor plan. It's more elongated than Denver. Denver was definitely more of a square, probably a big rectangle, but it was closer to being like a square floor plan versus
I feel like it was
Orlando.
last Orlando one felt more of a square. It didn't
Yeah.
feel as long as I think they changed the area that it was in.
Yeah, but we know people. I think it was like section 27. Weedle's warehouse had his little half section back there, and they definitely said they had really good traffic, so everything was still good back there. So I don't think it really affected many things. And I noticed like when the doors open and they let people in, they were just walking down the rows. They weren't going section to section to section to section. They were kind of just walking in and just you're doing like a quick glance when you're doing this, walking between. You got stuff on each side of you. There's the people that do go section to section, just figurating around each one, like to complete them all essentially. But it's not everybody, not nearly
so much
everybody.
to see, see too. Yeah, I mean, you got to kind of browse around a little bit and just see if something catches your eye, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like my Walmart stolen Pikachu Pokemon box thing worked really well for like catching eyes. I put the little symbols or whatever, little post-it note things on
price tags on there. Yeah.
No, my wife made those.
Yeah, it was clean.
She's got really good handwriting, so I roped her into doing those. But yeah, it was it worked. Whatever.
Yeah. Did you do any buying and selling in person or buying and trading? I mean, not selling.
No, I think I told everybody no. I was trying to get rid of stuff, and I really wanted to. I don't know if it's like a comfort level thing. I think I just don't. I have a hard time like bringing that together. It feels really separate for me. Like when I'm buying stuff and I'm hunting and I'm researching, I know the price I want to pay or the max I'll pay, and all that situation. And then the selling, it's almost like two different sides to the hobby for me. It's like very separate things. So the thought of like buying something or like trading or like mixing them together, it just doesn't feel as natural for me. It's just because I've never done it. I've never really done it together at that same point in that way. And also like no one was selling stuff that I'm interested in or like have that much knowledge in. No one came up to me with like nice Pikachus or anything like that I've been buying lately, some of the stuff that I'm kind of into and some of the stuff that I used to be into, some of the old Watsy stuff. Like you had that guy come up with like Yu-Gi-Oh! And there was the guy with like the insane Watsy binder and there was, what else was there? I'm trying to think what else there was. There's a bunch of stuff that like, it kind of put me off. I was just saying no to everyone because I was like, no, I don't buy. I'm just not. I wanted to sell. I wanted to get rid of stuff and focus on that.
Did you do any trade up challenges or did you accept any of those?
Yeah. So we had the really cute little girl. I think she had a little sister, a little brother with her, and then the parents were there. I think you observed the dad checking prices and stuff. They were very serious, and the mum was checking all my nice, expensive slabs, and she was just kind of like, "This is what I got." She didn't even look at what I had. Like, I don't think she was that interested really in actually the card and trading up. She just wanted to get something more expensive than what she had. So yeah, I gave in. I asked her to sign a card. I got this slab signed from her, and I gave her like I don't remember, like a $40, $50 card or something. I don't know. Do you remember what card it was? I forget what it was.
It was a Pikachu. That's all I know.
Definitely a Pikachu. I think it was Japanese base, if I remember right.
PSA 9?
Yeah, I think it was that one. So maybe it wasn't a $50 slab. Maybe I'm wrong. But it was more than what she was offering anyway. Definitely a trade up, in that sense. Nothing too crazy. But yeah, I gave her that, and I got a little memory of the first trade up challenge that I accepted by getting her to sign it. Did you see her face when I asked her to sign it? You stood right there. She was
I didn't see her face, but I saw her as she was signing.
Absolutely gobsmacked. She was like, "What?" I don't think she knew what like a signature was. She was like, "Well, like write my name on it." I was like, "Yeah." yeah, like I want you to like write your name on it. Like I want it for me, like as a memory. And she was like, okay. She was like nervous about it. Like I don't think she realized I was
Yeah.
just like wanting to keep it. It was a kind memory, a sweet memory. And yeah, it was sweet. She wrote her name on it, all like nervous, and tried to make it all really straight and clean and tidy. And yeah, give us that. They were super happy. Hopefully, they traded up something good. I should probably try and find on YouTube if they. I know she said they were taking pictures. Maybe they put it on Instagram or YouTube or something of like what the end result was. But it was fun to be a part of. Whatever. I mean, I don't know how many more I'd do in the future because it's just throwing money out the window. But I do. You guys know I do like investing money into people in the hobby, doing giveaways and um, giving back. I guess I've taken so much from it. Honestly, I've taken so much from the community. I don't feel bad about giving money back every so often.
Yeah. Yeah. So you accepted only one trade up challenge?
I think
They,
did I
yeah.
do more?
I don't
I
know.
gave a load of stuff away. I gave some kid. I
Yeah.
just gave some kids slabs. I gave a bunch of singles away. I think I gave away 2 slabs, 2 cheaper ones.
Yeah.
And then I gave away a Celebrations Blastoise to a kid that he wanted because they didn't have cash or something. I forget what it was. It was something wacky, and I was like, just take it. Have fun. Merry Christmas. You didn't know, right? You didn't do any trade up stuff.
I did 2 of them out of
Oh, you
10.
did?
Out of like 10. Yeah. It was freaking insane.
Was that the Sunday or the Saturday? I don't
It
remember
was
you
like
doing
2 of
one.
them on Saturday. Sunday, I just
You
gave all the
did?
little kids the middle finger because I got fed up with it. I was like,
I
dude, I was like,
don't
get out
remember
of
you
my
doing one on Saturday.
that one dad that pissed me off. Like when the girl was doing a trade,
Mm-hmm.
like you got to respect the freaking vendor enough to at least have respect for your kid to not screw them. You know what they're doing. Like if you
Did you
get,
do one of the other cards? Was that one of the two?
I didn't do them.
No.
It
Okay.
was somebody else, but like the dad checking comps on every freaking card, telling his daughter yes or no is kind of weird. That dude needed probably a swift kick in the nuts.
Yeah,
Definitely. Oh, it was kind of weird.
felt wrong.
I didn't like the feeling of that, but
Yeah.
I, if a little kid's gonna do it and go out of their shell and come talk to me, and their dad's not kind of whispering in their ear like, "Hey, you need to take them for another $10 because this isn't good enough," like, get out of my face, dude. I'm gonna hit you in the mouth. Not a fan. Not a fan at all.
I also loved the adult on when we left, and he said that he was like making a YouTube video. He was like a YouTuber or vlogger or whatever, and he was going to do it the next day. And didn't he ask us like he asked us if we had any slabs or so? I forget what the question was. He
Nope.
was like
Hold
trying
up,
to
bud.
ask us if we had something, right?
Yeah, I don't remember. I blacked him out, luckily.
Yeah, I feel like he was like trying to get a gauge on like would we give him anything towards it right now, kind of thing. Is I think is what he asked. It's like it was like, you have anything like as a base point or something? I think it was the question. It's like, bro, literally an adult, and you pay for your ticket here. Like you can probably buy one card to start with.
Yeah, at least start it.
Yeah, just I mean, you can buy a $1 card probably from someone who'll have a binder for singles. You can buy a $1 card. I mean, I don't know, odd. Definitely odd situation. Did meet a couple of interesting people for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, and I got to use some Polish. I don't know if you hear me do
The
that.
one lady was Polish. I know. I didn't know you spoke it.
So I very rarely. I'm really interested in languages, and I know a little bit of a few languages. Polish is one that I know was very basic, not very good conversational, but it's just a little hobby of mine. I've got a bunch of different hobbies. I really like learning languages. So Polish was a fun one because I used to run a restaurant over in England, and my chefs were 90% Polish. So I used to ask them questions and learn and try and pick up a lot. I learned a lot of very bad words that I'm not going to say right now, but also learned some like basic common phrases and greetings and stuff. So we were talking, like, she was very, I mean, you were like laughing about it, but she was very conversational, talking through her kid, like, wanting to buy a slab. They bought a slab, a cheap one. I think that was the one that I gave the Blastoise to. I don't remember. I looked after them. They absolutely wiped the floor with me. Like, I was definitely a loss that one, but still, it was fun interaction. We got talking, and she was talking about a husband having like Polish family, and that her family was Polish, and she obviously had a Polish accent. But I didn't even think when she was talking that she was Polish. She just sounded like she had an accent, because you hear so many accents in Florida. Like, Florida is just full of people like me, just like what do you call it? Immigrants like me, aliens, So I'm used to it. But when she said, "Oh, like my family's from Poland," I said, "Oh, dzień dobry," and she was like, "What?" I was like, "Dzień dobry," and she was like, "Oh my God, you speak Polish?" She said it in English, so it was like, she was like, well, still wasn't quite sure if I could actually speak it. Like, couldn't believe that like someone spoke to her in Polish. I was like, "Yes, Kamash." Like, I had a very small, quick conversation. I was like, I can't have a full conversation. I'm not fluent at all. Please don't get me wrong, but I know a tiny bit, and that was it. She was hooked, and she was like loving it. She just thought it was so fun that she met someone that could say that. So like those little moments, like, did spend nothing. Like, I probably made a loss on that sale, but it was like just a fun interaction with her. The son was so sweet and so cute. Like, I gave him a couple of Pikachus and stuff, and I'm pretty sure that's the one that I gave the Celebrations Blastoise to and stuff. Looked after them, and I said hello to the dad. He rocked up and stuff. So yeah, it was fun. I had a lot, so many memories for one day. It was like insane, the amount of different things, just the experiences you have. Was there any particular customer that stood out for you that you really enjoyed?
One I got to meet Vintage Yu-Gi-Oh! Finally. He came, and he was my first sale. He came and purchased the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card. Vintage Yu-Gi-Oh! Is, for those of you who don't know him, he's basically like Gem and Pokemon, but for Yu-Gi-Oh! He's got PSA 10 collection, crazy stuff, prize cards, also just an absolutely absurd collection. Big fan of his, and he's got a YouTube channel similar to Gem Mint, doing PSA returns for Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, and he dabbles into CGC though. He definitely respects when the card isn't going to 10. He sends it to CGC to get the 9.5. He's pretty bright on that. So it was nice talking to him, probably for 20 minutes. I talked to him. It was really cool getting to chat to him. I had purchased some things and talked to him on IG, but getting to meet him in person was really cool. So that was awesome.
I mean, if there's anyone that you want to meet and like have as your first sale, like, it's got to be that guy as a Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, that was cool. That was really cool.
Person, right? You have some really cool Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards too. I didn't realize, like, some of the artworks of like the real nice Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff, like, they really stand out. There was that, what was it? It was like Mirrored Sky or something. What was the name of it? It like looked like just like a beautiful picture of like a sky, or like, I forget. It was an expensive one that you had in the case, and I was like, geez, like, that card is gorgeous. Like, that is a really beautiful card. I'd never even seen it before. Never even heard of it.
Yeah, the name does not ring a bell whatsoever to anything I had in there.
No, I'm definitely just butchering the name.
That's what's throwing me off. I had too many Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards to pin it down.
Magic Mirror
Force. Purple one. Yeah, I love that card.
Gorgeous, beautiful. You pointed to it. I think you told someone about it, and I looked at it, and I was like, oh my God, that's a pretty special card. Like, there's some really nice Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. You kind of got me intrigued to start playing around a bit more, because I don't have many. I have like a couple of packs worth of it. So
it's cheap. Booster boxes are really cheap compared to Pokemon.
Oh, I know, but I'm scared to dive into yet another thing I'm going to be interested in. I'll get sucked into it. I would too. I'd definitely get sucked into it. I feel like we should talk about other vendors too.
Yeah, kick it off.
I think it was cool being so close to Jake Pokenomics, literally at the next table. That was very special. I had a little bit of like imposter syndrome, I think, during our time there, next to you, like all these incredible slabs, and I've got Jake with like amazing like Star Wars slabs and stuff, and like Lord of the Rings packs, and then I've got old school Pokemon that's like the height of buying and selling in the hobby, and oh my god, Brad, Zord Hunter, he was there. It's just like so many people. Crystal and Palatine. Our section was just like Vandy next to you, right?
Right next
like
to me.
Pokestone. Like it was just like we had,
Walrus.
Walrus was there in between Jake and Old School, right?
Yep.
Like we got like an action-packed section. It was crazy. So that was like, I don't know. It was just inspiring, I guess. It was like a good feeling being around those kind of people that you watch on videos and you talk with in Discord. Like, I think they're probably all in the Discord, like as far as I can think of. And just being there, like next to them while they're making money and having interactions and talking about things that they love and enjoy. It's a really cool experience. I'm telling you now, guys. Excuse me. If you sell cards, you got to do it at least one time. You got to get in a section with these guys and get near them, and be able to like talk with them and see them. I love that. It was so fun.
Yeah,
what about you?
Had more time to go talk to the guys during the convention. It was busy enough to where I didn't, like, if I went and did something, it was to go to the bathroom. I didn't have much time to turn around and go talk to a lot of people. But yeah, having Jake right there to shoot the crap with quite a bit was pretty fun. And his girlfriend there as well was cool talking to her.
So, was it Sarah?
Sarah, yep.
She was so sweet. Yeah, everyone was just so kind. Like all the wives that were brought, and all the people that I hadn't met or like really watched in like YouTube videos. It was first time meeting from Discord and stuff in person. And the other section too. I'm not just talking about our section. And 27, like just everyone basically that was there, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I didn't meet a single person that I didn't like all weekend. It was fantastic.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it was really cool. Like you said though, I wish the number one thing, I wish I had more time to go check out all the other booths. Yeah. I love looking through binders and looking at singles, and man, which is why I almost every other time I flip-flop vending, not vending, vending, not vending. But so it's going to depend primarily next time if I have like the types of cards I want and I think are not
what you have.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to try force selling things I have just to sell them. Like basically, it's what had just happened at this Collectacon. So
I wish I would have got around and seen other people's prices on some of their slabs, because some people had the same slabs, some of the Pikachus as me. On a couple of tables, I didn't look at many. I looked at a couple, and they were way higher than my prices, like 30-40% higher than some of mine. So that was intriguing to like. I was like wondering like if they were selling, like if like people buying it at that, if people were looking around, shop around, or if they were just looking at it and going, "Yep, that's the one I want," and buying it. I don't know if maybe I was too low or maybe I was good price. I would have liked to have done a bit more like research in other people's tables and see what other people are at.
Yeah, for sure. So overall convention goals met, not met? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I didn't really have any goals. Honestly, my goal really was just to hang out with you and the guys and kind of spend some time, and I did that. Money-wise, I was hoping to sell some of my nicer cards, duplicates and extras and stuff that I had, some of the better stuff that I just didn't need. But yeah, is what it is. Gives me a reason to consign them now, I guess. And then yeah, I know not anything really specific. I know it's kind of a boring answer, but I just kind of really want to spend time with you guys and have some fun and kind of get away for the day. So what about you? We kind of touched on it last week, but do you feel like you met maybe goals that were not monetary? Any of those kind of goals?
Yeah, so basically the 3 goals of Collectacons is like making money, networking, and just hanging out with the community, essentially, which is kind of networking, but not really focusing on that. It's more just hanging out with the people and getting to know them more. but yeah, I definitely think the networking, hanging out, check those off really good. I had a great time talking with all the people I wanted to talk to and everybody else. It was awesome meeting all the different people. So that was definitely a check mark. But yeah, when you look at the money, not great situation for what I had going on. Paid for the trip essentially. That's about it.
Good.
Lined that up pretty good, but yeah, nothing up too far above and beyond. It was lackluster from other cons, but I would be more upset if I didn't know why. Like if I was like, man, if I had all these right slabs and they weren't moving, but I know for sure it was too niche. Like it was way too niche, and you just need to take a look at what you're taking if you're going to sell. Um, Cheaper stuff is obviously ideal. If you definitely need to price every single card. I did that. You did that. Pretty much everybody at our section had a price on every single card, which is the way you need to do it.
Definitely.
Which is you can't not do that. Raw cards seem to do pretty dang well. Standing right next to Vandy Flips Pokemon. He go follow him on Whatnot for sure. He kills it on there. But
was he doing it? Was he doing it out the at the binder? I forget.
No, he had raw singles in one of his displays, and he had slabs in another. So he just had them priced out individually. Yeah,
in card savers.
Yeah, he picked up a lot of trades. Like he had a binder. Like it was one of the first trades he did. He got a whole binder for a couple slabs or something. So he was eventually selling out of that unpriced cards, and he had to check up comps. And the internet was great. That was not touched on yet, but the internet there, I had no issues with Verizon.
Perfect.
4G, 5 bars, no issues whatsoever. Looking up comps on the fly, no lag. But yeah, definitely a lesson learned there, selling wise, and take it on the chin and move on.
Would you use the case again?
What?
Would you use the cases again?
Good question. I know. Yes, I probably would. And what I would do, like if I had my own table, I would turn that. So basically, if you rent 2 cases at Collectacon, they take up your entire table. If you put them horizontally, you can orient them 90 degrees, and they're vertical, and then you could have some more stuff in the middle or on one of the sides if you put them together. That would be what I would do, and then I have a couple of things I could set up there. I could put a couple of graded games or something to give it a little bit more 3D-ness instead of being so flat, just straight displays. It doesn't stand out. It doesn't pop. That was kind of what I did like about my other things I had. I had a little bit more space for other things. Like I could put a shoebox of slabs so they could flip through them in addition to what's inside of the displays. So
yep,
I would do them again probably just for the sense of having those because they hold a lot of crap. But then I would definitely rotate them the 90 degrees and give me that space in the middle. I didn't have anything. I didn't plan to bring anything to put in the space in the middle, so I didn't do that in the second day on Sunday. So I didn't have something to fill the space. So, but yeah, definitely $40 per case was not bad. So 100%. What about you? Would you rent one next time, or would you do something on your own? If you were out of state, couldn't drive it. Say you're going to like Denver.
I'd probably rent one and have the other half of the table with like
your box and other
stuff.
Things.
Yeah.
Some
I don't know. I guess the other question is what you were saying, like what I have ready, like what do I actually prepare for and get ready? What kind of stuff is it? Is it cheap stuff or is it like nicer stuff? I kind of feel like I'd like a case like you had. We had a case with like nice stuff in. Like you had way nice stuff than I'd ever have, but like the nice stuff for me in a case. And then on the other side, just random like cheaper stuff, slabs, singles, accessories, and like little fun things, like just things that people seem to like, little kids like and stuff. Maybe a couple of little mini plushes, that kind of stuff. I'd probably do that, like kind of like what I was saying earlier, just have like a bit of a diversity there, you know, a few different things. I think that'd be fun to like attract all different people, and then maybe catch their eye on something else, you know, get something else too. I don't know, like a mini card and all. store. Like all different things where you walk around, you're like, oh, actually, I want that. Oh, I want to grab that. Like, things catch your eye, kind of thing. It works. I mean, supermarkets do it.
Yep, definitely do, man.
I had a salad for lunch.
That's pretty good.
It was
best salad you ever had.
Yeah, it was a salad. Yeah, it was all right. It wasn't bad. It was actually pretty like fresh. You could tell they literally just made it that morning. You could tell it was really fresh. It was just pretty basic. Yeah, nothing too crazy. You didn't even eat, right, at lunchtime?
I had 3 granola bars through the day, and I kept filling my face with Pokestone sausage. So
You had sausage.
yeah, he had this like a packaged up pieces of sausage that I literally was slaying. I ate. I wasn't hungry.
I didn't taste Pokestone sausage. I wasn't offered. He didn't.
He didn't think you could take it.
Yeah, no, he probably thought you're the man. You're the man for the job.
Yeah. I can take some good sausage. It was good, really good. Appreciate you, Pokestone, if you're watching this. Pleasure meeting you as well.
He was awesome. Yeah, he really was awesome. I was excited to finally meet him. Dinner was good too. That I actually did have some really good sausage at dinner, and that steak and the pork, the chicken, all of it. It was crazy. Yeah, that was brilliant. Breakfast was good. I had good. Yeah, let's just tell them about everything. I had hash and eggs.
Was that you said that was your first ever Brazilian steakhouse, right?
Yeah, I'd never even heard of it. I didn't know steakhouses were a thing in Brazil. I don't even know that was like a special thing that like.
Yep.
Yeah, that happens, and they will bring them out and slicing it on the table, and you have to like grab it with ice tongs. Yeah, it was crazy. It was very interesting.
You definitely gotta take the wife sometime. She'd be impressed.
Yeah, it's funny because like we've been together like 10 years, and I was trying to explain to her the place because like I'd never been anywhere like that, and she was saying, "Oh, you mean like a Brazilian steakhouse?" I was like, "When have you ever been to a Brazilian steakhouse? How do you even know what that
is?" Last Tuesday with the girls. Where were you?
Like seriously, like what? We don't even have one in town. Like what? When have you ever been to one? She was like, "Oh yeah, Brazilian steakhouse." So yeah, I guess we need to figure that out. Go do it as a couple. I don't know. It's been on some dates or something. I don't know what's going on
there. Yeah. One of my talk about a little bit after dinner later that night. We had hanging out with the buddies. An executive from CGC stopped by. So those of you staying late into this podcast, appreciate you guys. Hit the like button, hit the sub button if you're having a good time. But
yeah, please.
Not going to drop any names, but talked with him a little bit, and he was giving a little bit of different hints and stuff going on. Any of them, obviously, you were listening. Any things that he said that you look forward to if they end up doing?
Can we talk about it? I don't know if
I didn't sign nothing.
I feel bad.
My favorite part.
Like insider secrets. I didn't think we were allowed to tell anyone of that stuff.
Well, my favorite part is they might be doing some packs here soon, so that'll be really cool.
Oh yeah, that was a cool one.
He said they've been working on it for a long time, and they're afraid of different things going on. Just want to prevent things being damaged.
He did do a good explanation on that too. He was saying that they generally, in the case, have the ability to either press in the edges to hold it still, which therefore you're going to hurt because you're clamping it down. You're going to possibly damage it, or you like just hold it in place, and then they can move around and get damaged because they can move around. So the way he was explaining it, I hadn't really ever thought about it that way before with PSA slabs, but like he's probably right. Like either way, they're probably going to get damaged. I don't know what the verdict is on that. The only thing I could think of, I was trying to piece in my mind when he was saying it what to do, kind of like how they sleeve some of the nicer cards, right? Some of the grading companies will do that, or basically put in the pack in like a sleeve or like a rubber guard or something along the top and the bottom, and then stamping that and holding that in place. So something like a protection in between the hard plastic case being sonic welded and the actual pack, maybe like some kind of soft plastic in between, something like that. I don't know.
Little gasket or something, yeah.
Yeah. You know, I mean, you're in fasteners, you know exactly what you went straight to the engineering side of stuff. But yeah, a gasket, that exactly perfect.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool. And then I had inquired about population reports and stuff for the other TCGs, and it sounds like that could be happening this year, especially for Yu-Gi-Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Been wanting one of those. It took them a while for Pokemon, as everybody knows. I think it was like the 2-year anniversary it dropped. Essentially, like pretty close to that is when we got population reports for Pokemon, or it was like the 1.5 year. I can't remember, but it wasn't. It took a while. So all of it's there. Hopefully we get that this year. And I think the other one that he had discussed a little bit was the possibly making some changes for the perfect cards, which would be pretty sick. That would be insane. Doing some type of differentiation between perfects, pristines, and stuff like that. So that could be pretty awesome.
I did like the couple of ideas. I'm hesitant to say it. I don't.
Yeah, we don't gotta divulge.
I don't give too much in, but yeah, the ideas that it did throw out that they were trying to figure out, see if it was going to work. I guess they're like testing and just checking how things are. Sound pretty good, honestly. I think it's pretty exciting. I think there's a lot of opportunity there for current perfect slabs.
Yeah. I'm gonna go buy them all up now. No.
I mean, I do kind of feel like there might be a little bit of a play there and getting reholded, right?
Yeah.
So currently already perfect, and they're willing to cross them into a perfect again. Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. Stay tuned. Might be a little player Rooney there, but we'll see. Yeah, a lot of pretty interesting, sexy stuff coming out from CGC. I guess they're putting in a lot of effort to not go stale. I think if you're not changing, you're not growing. You need to be constantly evolving. The market's changing, demands are changing. Like, people are much more stringent on what they're buying and grading and stuff now more than ever. Like, people want the best. They want the hottest new thing, the best new thing. They want black labels. They want they want the best they can get for their money. So CGC seems to recognize like that they need to carry on making improvements and that they're not perfect and you can't just keep it how it is. Looking at you, BGS. And there's definitely some changes that could be made. But yeah, that was cool seeing him. Especially seeing him with everyone else and everyone else like having different thoughts and questions and conversations going on. I think one-on-one I may not have got as much out of him as what he said, but being in that environment, it kind of helped feed him in his conversational style that he had. So that was cool.
Definitely. That was a good time.
Cool. I'm trying to think if there's anything we missed. Anything that we haven't touched on.
Going to Dallas in May? Collectacon?
May? How is it so soon? What month is it?
3 months.
Triple May.
No, it's like 2 months. It's like 2 months and a week.
Okay. Maybe. I'll chat with wife of Rooney. See what she says. See if she's going to a Brazilian steakhouse that night or not.
Yeah, take her there. Ask her there. Yeah. Get on one knee and ask her. Yeah. That's funny.
Are you planning? Are you going to go and sell? Do you think you'll sell?
They're sold out for booths at Dallas.
Already?
Yeah. That's sold out right when it opened.
Oh.
So if I did, it would be splitting a table with somebody, and they don't even know they'd split it with me yet because I haven't asked anybody. But put it on the doubtful side for vending, just because I have the slabs I have right now. I don't have a lot of stuff that I feel like would be liquid like it has been in the other older cons that I went to. I do have stuff, but I don't want to sell it. Is kind of my problem. I have a bunch of CGC 9 first edition Wizards of the Coast cards. I just don't want to sell them at the price points they're at. So those cards would sell pretty damn well. They always have if you price them appropriately, and don't feel like doing that. Like I said, at the current price points, but Dallas definitely could happen. I'd like to go to Long Beach and vend there again. That was really fun, and probably one more other one. So probably be about 4 this year out of the 7.
Do you think Dallas is like a busier one? Is that why it sold out so fast? Do you think
It's definitely there's a lot of. It was their first one, I think. Dallas was the first one. They've done Dallas since the beginning, I believe. Actually, I think last year they changed it to Houston, but this year they brought Dallas back, and now they're doing Dallas and Houston for the first time. So, but Dallas was the first ever one of 2 they did. They essentially did 2 Collectacons, I think, the first year, or 3, and it's grown. But Dallas was huge. It was pretty massive, the first one.
Did we talk about the possible new one?
I don't know if we're supposed to do that.
Okay.
I wouldn't mention. I'm more comfortable talking about the CGC than that.
Who even said that? I don't even remember. Someone was speculating.
It was Dan and Old School.
Was it? They were speculating.
Well, we overheard their conversation telling somebody rock Pokemon. Yeah.
We did learn some juicy stuff that weekend. It was really fun being around people. Really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hope to see a lot more people out there at the next one, and come say hi.
I wish Retro and Thrifty and Colson and all the guys that were with DNA at the Spice Mission. I wish they would have all come to the hotel sooner. Spent more time with them, because their section was like right next to us, but I just felt like they were so busy all the time. It was like hard to grab them and spend time with them. So
I blame Dan. Dan was supposed to go to their house, so they were chilling, waiting for him, and he kind of just sharded the bed and hung out in the lobby and didn't go. And
he just wanted to get away from us. That's what it was.
Exactly. Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna leave, go here, and then he just went to the upstairs bar instead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he won the bet, so I guess that's what it was. Yeah. I can't think of anything else that I missed. I had a sucky drive in. I don't think I touched on that. I was like 2.5 hours late getting there.
That's pretty rough.
Yeah, that sucks. So I apologize for my tardiness there. But next time, I think it'd be cool to just soak it in. Maybe even take a few things and see if we could do a few trades. Maybe some trade stuff.
100%, man. No, yeah, nothing left for me. Spilled my guts here this evening, and I definitely have enjoyed talking to you about it. Looking forward to the next one, though, man. It was a
brilliant weekend. Yeah, I'm glad we recapped on that. I was excited for this conversation to kind of debrief on it. It was all going so fast, and so so much happening. It felt like I didn't sit down the whole day. It was just nonstop. So yeah, thank you. Fun times. Thanks everyone for listening in, watching. However it is that you're soaking this up, we really appreciate the support. You guys have been so kind and so grateful. It was awesome having people coming up to us at Collectacon and saying they recognize us and they watch us from the podcast. We love all of you. Doing this for you guys is so fun, and we're really thankful. So yeah, we'll see you next Tuesday. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe. Bye guys.
Peace. Have a good one.